the June 2023 spotlight on the Association for Conflict Resolution Houston chapter. That is your topic for today. Welcome to the Lawyers and Mediators International Show and Podcast by InstantMediations.com, where we discuss law and conflict resolution topics to educate both professionals and everyday people. Catch regular episodes on YouTube, the Instant Mediations app, and anywhere you get your podcasts. Just remember, nothing in these episodes constitutes legal advice, so be sure to talk to a lawyer, as cases are fact-dependent. Hey everyone, this is attorney Mac Pierre-Louis, lawyer, mediator, arbitrator, working throughout Florida and Texas.
And Natalia Ołowska-Czajka, advocate, mediator, and arbitrator from Warsaw, Poland.
And we are with our special guest today. That is the president of ACRHouston, the Houston chapter of the Association for Conflict Resolution, Cheryl Jackson Matthews. She's the president of ACRHouston, and I just wanted to have her to stop by for this inaugural first episode of a series that we are doing in association with ACRHouston, where we are talking about what's new at ACRHouston. What are the events? What is it all about? And why you should join and participate. But first, let's welcome Cheryl and get to know her a little bit. So, Madam President, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for ACR?
Sure. Good afternoon. I am pleased to be here representing the Association for Conflict Resolution, Houston chapter, which is an international organization. It's been around in Houston for about 30 years. And the reason we exist is to show people or be involved in the conflict resolution in really in the world. And so I'm happy to be here. I've been president for about 6 months now, and we're just getting our feet wet with everything that's going on. So last month, for example, there was a George Floyd uh, presentation here in Houston, and many of us participated. Um, so things of that nature. We don't write policy or anything like that. We'd like to uh, think that we affect the outcomes of conflict in our geographic location.
Yeah, and Cheryl, before I let my colleague Natalia take over, I want to just bring up the website for ACR Houston. I know we want to get to know you a little bit better, so we'll bring up your website in a second as well. But acrhouston.org, that's where people can go to find out more about this organization that you're heading. And of course, I'm a member of ACR Houston as well. So we'll get down there. We'll get there, and we'll talk a little bit more about what my experience has been like in this wonderful organization. But go ahead, Natalia.
Yes, so now that we know that you're the president, congratulations on the position. We know that there was a way that led you to it. That means your commitment and your achievements as a person, businesswoman, and mediator. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional background?
Sure. This is actually my second career. Prior to that, I was a independent consultant doing business consulting all over the world, as a matter of fact. Um, I have a master's degree in business, and that's what led me to doing the consulting work. But now I am a mediator full time, and I mediate and arbitrate actually conflicts between people, specifically civic uh, instances where people have conflicts, and that could be business to business. It could be a consumer to a business, um, and that sort of thing. So My background uh, with the MBA and my background with consulting with businesses it led to uh, my doing mediations. So, and I enjoy it. I love it. I am passionate about it. And this time in the world, there's so much conflict. We need people who bring peace. So, I
Yeah.
guess you could call me the peacemaker.
Yeah, well, Cheryl, I know that your bio is actually on the main website of ACR Houston.
Yes,
And when people go there, one thing I was reading about, and I didn't know, is that you've been a mediator for 15 years.
yes.
That's a really long time. So, of course, that means you've known all the tricks of the trade and also how to help other mediators who are maybe new to conflict resolution learn the tricks and learn how to help people settle. Would that be correct?
That's correct. That's correct. I don't know all the tricks to the trade, but I I utilized a lot of tools, if you will, while I was a conflict resolution person. And I'm sorry, while I was a consultant. I used mediation tools in terms of talking with clients and did not realize it. So I was exposed to mediation uh, by Dr. Barbara Manuso. And I have to tell you quick story of how I met her. I was in a spa having a mani pedi and manicure pedicure, and she was sitting next to me. And of course, Barbara does talk a lot, so she started uh, talking about this conflict resolution. And so we engaged in a conversation. And so she said to me, "Oh, well, give me a call." She gave me her card because she is a trainer and in conflict resolution. And so she gave me a card, and it took me a year before I called her. I was so busy doing other things. So I called her and of course took her course and took the advanced course and took the course on arbitration. So, and she's fantastic. So I just guess you could say I kind of fell into this. So yes.
And it was a good way to do that because we need to admit that we both also participated in Barbara Manoso courses. And now
Oh,
she is one of the speakers in our podcast. And we really appreciate all the insights she has and all the guests she brings. But back to what we are to say, tell us, please, you as a president, what are the benefits of people joining ACR Houston? Why is it a must for any mediator in Houston?
actually, any mediator in Texas should look for our organization and join. Um, the benefits are many. First of all, we have monthly or actually maybe once a quarter. We have what we call our uh, series on our lecture series. I'm sorry, there's a reason for that lecture series, and it includes discussions about conflict resolution issues that we may not be aware of. And also, you get to meet other people who are like minded, which helps you to be a better mediator. And it's a very good group of men and women. Um, but it helps when you join ACR because it looks good on your resume. It really does, and you'll get a lot out of it in terms of professional development.
Yeah.
So those are only a few of the benefits of ACR.
Yeah. And I'll add that I became a member of ACR just around 2020,
Mhm.
when just before the pandemic, actually. I went to my first event that was in person at that time, right before spring of March 2020, when everything closed down. It was over at a Seasons 52
Mhm.
restaurant out near the Galleria.
Mhm.
And I met you there. I met Dr. Manuso there. I
Mhm.
met Darcy Thompson there. And it was good to be able to network with a whole bunch of other mediators from the Houston area and get to hear a really interesting, lecturer talk about something that could help me in my everyday practice as a mediator, as a young mediator at the time. So I echo what you're saying. I think people should join because it will. There's so many different benefits in just working with other people. You know, I'm a lawyer, so in our circle we have different groups, Facebook groups even, where we're a part of that we help each other in the practice. But there's not that many organizations for mediators, and I think this one is one of them that actually helps. So, so tell us, when it comes to events or things that might be upcoming, what are some reminders would you want to give to people out there, and not only about joining but also attending?
Um, June is upon us. As a matter of fact, we're in the midst of it. And in Texas, June is very important to our community. Juneteenth um, will be celebrated this month. And last year was the first year that it was celebrated nationwide. And for those who are not aware what Juneteenth is about, um, Google it. I would ask you to Google it. But basically, it is when the slaves in Texas learned that they were free. The Emancipation Proclamation had been signed, and so and it took it 3 years to 2 or 3 years to get here, the news to get here. So as a result, Texas uh, basically observes that holiday very, very seriously. Now, beyond that, for the month of June, um, we will be gathering as an organization to do some planning. And what we intend to do in the future is, again, the lecture series is still on the table, probably one per quarter. And since we're halfway in the year, we might be looking at maybe two more to come. Um, the guest speaker or the guest lecturer, we will let you know. So really keep your hand on the button of our website, because we will be updating it with upcoming events as they happen and as they come to us.
And actually, my spotlight now should go onto the website again. Why is it such a good resource for mediators and for the members of ACR Houston? And let us remind everybody, it is acrhouston.org. And what can we find there?
Well, we have an upcoming events calendar, and you can click on that and get all of the events that, again, we have been apprised of. And so you can get them there. And right now we're working on updating it. So it's not exactly uh, done yet. So, but you can join ACR on that on the website, and also you can subscribe to the ACR newsletter, if you will. So we have two modes of discussion, if you will. First is our website, where you can go to the website, get copies, or sign up for um, monthly emails, which would be the information in print that we do. But I encourage you to drop in on this channel, because we will be doing an electronic magazine, if you will. So we're very excited about that. And next month, we're going to have a surprise guest. I won't tell you who it is, but just know that she is a dynamite lady. Finally, I did want to say something about our peer mediation program. Miss Darcy Thompson is the really, it's her baby. And she has done a tremendous job in bringing that format to young people and training young people um, to go back to their schools and act as mediators. So at this point, I think she's trained, to my knowledge, maybe close to 100 kids, and faculty and what have you. So it's a great program, and you will see her on this format soon. But she does wonders with it. So, and we're very proud. ARC Houston is very proud to have that program under our banner.
Yes, and this whole topic that you were just discussing about having two modes through which people can learn about ACR Houston's series is going to be either the classic, way of doing it, which is just going to the website, signing up for the newsletter, or coming back to this channel, like you just said, and hearing you talk about it. So when we do that and when we publish, we're going to be putting those videos on the Lawyers Mediators International, the LMI podcast channel on YouTube, as well as the audio version on Spotify. And so this channel will have this series alongside all the other series that we have with our other co-hosts. And you can go to the channel. To the website. We've updated it. And so there's a few new updates where pretty soon you'll be able to see all of the ACR Houston videos that we're going to be doing. So we hope this is going to be a long-term thing that's going to be very informational. And if people want to just listen instead of watching us, of course, they can just click play to listen, and it will open up where they can hear more about all the different, clips that we do with you here, Ms. President. And so there's so much more to come, but I think I'm excited that this is going to be a new way to get ACR Houston's information out there to the public. And if there's anybody out there who's listening, who's watching, who's interested in ACR, head over to ACR Houston's website and learn more about it and network with us. And we hope to see you in one of these events. Cheryl, tell us
Yes.
something. What about in-person meetings? Like a few years ago before COVID, we were doing in-person meetings, but then COVID changed everything.
Yes, it
And
did.
everybody, was on Zoom. And I know you guys have had a lot of lecturers and seminar presenters that
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
But is there a plan to have people reconnect back in person so we can shake hands again?
As I look into my crystal wall, who knows? There are some mediators who have chosen to do exclusively Zoom or team uh, mediations. Some are uh, diehard, in your face mediators. So it depends really on the person. Personally, I am doing nothing but virtual mediations. And I feel personally that you can reach more people that way. Um, People who don't necessarily want to get up, get dressed, and come to your office to mediate. Um, and I have learned since the pandemic, I have learned certain techniques for engaging people via the video. So it's been interesting, but uh, again, there are a lot of people who are going back face to face, but I'm not one of them right now. So yes, it has created a whole new, not only source technology issue, but changing the way that we uh, engage with people on the video. Learn to read their verbal um, uh, gestures and what have you to make some suggestions when you're mediating. So, and moving them to a private room, which is something that we do face to face, but that physically have to get up and go to another room. Um, I love it because you can put people in separate rooms and you don't have to worry about moving about. So yes, it did impact our industry. And as a matter of fact, I was just reading yesterday, Harris County has over 70,000 back civil cases. And it's backlogged at least, I think, 2 or 3 years. And so they are considering two things. One, adding more judges. I think about adding about 4 or 5 judges, and also increasing the virtual mediations. So they would happen in court or in person, but also they're leaning very heavily on virtual mediations. So that's good news to know. And I was not aware of the fact that court or those courts were so backlogged. So, yes, I am looking forward to that.
So thank you so much. I think that it will be enough from this issue of the spotlight on Association for Conflict Resolution from Houston chapter. This is June 2023, but we'll be doing next one for July. And I'm very much looking forward to that because there will be so much more to say. Thank you so much, Ms.
Thank you,
President
Talia.
Cheryl,
Thank you,
for
Mac.
participation and looking forward to see you again. Please stay tuned,
Grateful.
everybody. See you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And be sure, guys, to check out the website and go and register for the print version as well so that you can stay up to date between now and the next time we get back on camera to let you know what's up and what's new at ACR Houston. Okay, everyone, take care. Until next time. Bye bye.
Dobra.